All right, today is a very exciting day. I am about to unbox my very first fabric collection. I've been waiting for this moment for about 2 years. We've known that it was going to happen and been kind of working on the ideas of what was going to be included in it. It is a collaborative collection with QT, which basically means that it was my colors, my concepts, my ideas, but they did the actual artwork for it. And that's actually really common within the fabric industry. A lot of times when you see designers like me that have come out with a collection, it doesn't mean that they specifically did all the artwork. It was their ideas, and then someone with those computer skills put it to paper. And so it's really exciting to be able to do this for the first time, and I'm excited to open this box in front of you guys. So let's take a peek and see all of it in fabric for the first time. I've seen it on paper, but I'm so excited to see it and feel it. It's the tiny little tossed owls, the first one that's on top. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys all the fabrics, and I'm going to get this giant box out of the way, and we'll go through the fabrics so you guys can take a peek from them on the overhead camera, and I kind of talk through the concepts of them and how we came up with everything and the color palette, and it's just so neat. Like, this is going to look fantastic in my house, and I hope it will look fantastic in your homes too. All right, so this is the tossed owl. It has these tiny little stenciled owls, which we will see in other places as well, and they're going in all different directions, which is great because then it means it's not directional, so you can use it any which way. And it has this wood grain look to it that actually looks like layered chalk paint, because if you've watched any of our painting videos, you know that I have a soft spot in my heart for Annie Sloan, and I just love these colors, and I love layering paint, and I do that. That's like my hobby when I'm not sewing. I'm painting something. I painted this hutch behind me. I painted lots of other things. And I love having that texture there. And then it has this lovely gray neutral, and then this lovely little duck egg blue little accent to give it just some little bit of color. This is in a couple other colorways as well, but I really like it in this pretty gray. All the colors were kind of pulled in conjunction with my favorite colors from Annie Sloan. You guys know I love her paints, so that's kind of where we pulled my favorite colors and used a lot of those in here. All right, this one is, I feel like my camera is not doing it true justice here. It is a sort of deep, sort of turquoise. It's like Provence and Florence mixed together with a little bit of duck egg blue. It's that, again, layered texture of paint, and it kind of has this wood grain look, and I thought it looked a lot like cork fabric, because we love using cork for bag bottoms. It looks so pretty, but it's pricey, and so this I think is going to make some great bag bottoms. I think it would make a great neutral, and it just is really pretty, and I love that deep turquoise. It really kind of is. You can tell that I love these colors because it's everywhere in all of my things. Here is that same print, but in a black and really dark gray. This one I think is going to really be fantastic for bag bottoms. I think it's just going to be so pretty and so fabulous to use, but it also is going to make a great just focal point to kind of set things off and frame things up, and I'm really excited about this one. So since we are doing the owl as kind of our main theme here, we of course have some feathers, and so these kind of look like a stencil. So when you chalk paint, a lot of times you'll use stencils to sort of create texture along with that. So these are the owl feathers, but it also is just a cool little design. You could use it as a fish scale or just to create some texture. So we're using this as one of the neutrals. And one of the things as a designer that I felt helped really influence the line is a lot of times people will come up with a whole bunch of really cool neutrals, but that is not great for actually using it in a line if you want to use the whole line, because really you need like one neutral and then everything else has to contrast with that. And so we came up with two really good neutrals, so you've got two options. This is one of them to just kind of, you know, stand out and let everything else pop from there. And so this is one of those, and it's going to be really fun and really pretty. All right, this is another one of those feathers. This is in a chartreuse color. This is my favorite underrated color of all time because it really just makes all other colors pop, especially when you're pairing it like with a teal like this. It just really just brings that out. And so we only have a couple in this colorway in the line, but it really, I think, helps bring it together because it just has that little bit of just contrast and brightness, and it really just works really well with the other colors in there. So this one is super cool. We kind of were going for a mid-century modern vibe too. A lot of the owl decor I have now, I had before owls were cool. Like I was getting it from our local vintage shop here in the Quad Cities where I'm from. And so I really love that mid-century modern vibe. My house is a ranch from the 1950s. So I love it. I embrace it. It's really cool. So this is a nice little duck egg blue with that chartreuse, and then it has that cool modular design. And so this would be great for borders and bindings, and that's kind of what we're using it for here, as well as just in general piecing, because it kind of ties together a couple of those different colors. And then this darker color, it's not black, it's really like kind of a navy, and so we will see more of that too as we go through the line. Here is that same print, but in a much subtler tone. We have the duck egg blue in that background, and then the more navy Napoleonic blue there. I want to paint my piano this Napoleonic blue someday, just as an FYI. It's going to happen, and it'll be on video someday. I just really love this design, and this is a much more subtler version of it. So again, great handbag straps, borders, bindings. This is a fun one. I think that this is my favorite combo of this print because of that really deep Napoleonic blue contrasted with that chartreuse, and then also the little duck egg blue in the little bit, and it really just pops. Like you can see what I mean, where that chartreuse is a great underrated color because it really just brings everything out here and makes it really, really pretty. So now we have the hero print, and that is this fun, adorable, fussy cuttable owl. It looks like a stencil that you would use with doing chalk paint. The background has that lovely layered painting texture that actually was patterned after a piece that I painted in my house. I had a side table that was absolutely hideous when I got it and very dated, and now it looks cool, chic, and very fun retro feel to it. And it actually has a lot of these colors in it and looks a lot like this. And then it also it ties in a lot of the other colors that are being used throughout the line. And then we have this cool sort of trellisy texture in between. And so that way we're able to cut this out and fussy cut it a couple of different sizes, and we're not going to lose anything. Like you're going to be able to use every single owl, because I hate when you have a pattern and you can't cut out the owl, you end up losing, every other one. You do not have to do that. We worked really hard to make sure that the sizing was correct so that you don't lose anything, and you can just kind of cut out your square, and it's going to be super cute, and I love this. We're going to have so much fun with this print. I cannot wait. All right, so here is that same print, and it is just with the dark colorway. So this will match with that dark wood grain texture, and the owl looks a little different. The design of it is just a tad bit different, but it color-wise, but it really is fun. It really pops. It's a little brighter on camera than it actually is in real life, but I'm just loving this, and I'm so excited to start using these. So these, I think, are going to make fantastic basics. They're just a wood grain texture that is more defined than the painted texture where you see it looks like layered paint. This looks like actual wood grain, where it is just a tad bit light or darker, the wood grain texture, than the background, and it really is pretty. I really love this duck egg blue version of it, and I think it really just adds that nice little subtle texture that you want to make it pop just a little bit more, but it's going to be a great supporting player to all the other prints. So this is our second neutral, and I think it is going to be a fantastic neutral. I already said that this print I think is going to make a great basic, but this one is going to really just pop, so like really let the others shine and just deliver that subtle texture in a modern way. Sometimes it's really hard to find like a modern subtle neutral like this, because they're can get a little weird sometimes. That this one is just, it's very calming, and I think it's going to work great with some more of the foresty, but still modern lined elements of the other fabrics. All right, so this one is going to be kind of hard to see on camera, but the texture of this one is just very, very light. It is like a deep charcoal for the background, and then like a true black for the wood grain section of the texture. And this is going to be such a fabulous black to use, because it's not like that true black, but it is dang close enough, and then you just get that subtle bit of texture. It's going to be really fun to use. Here is more of that Napoleonic blue. It's looking a little bit brighter than it actually is on camera. This is again the color that I someday want to paint my piano, because I love it, and it goes so great with those dark teals and the duck egg blues and that chartreuse and the grays. It just is really, like, it ties it all together. I love adding just a little bit of dark blue. A lot of my planters in my living room are dark blue, because it really just helps tie everything all together. All right, we've got one more chartreuse, because we had to have just a little bit more to help make it pop and make it all work together. And again, this one is the wood grain texture, and this is the last fabric in the line. I'm so excited about this. I haven't told you yet, the line is called Nocturne. It is supposed to be shipping in January from QT Fabrics. We're going to have information on where you can pre-order all of this on our website, and we also are going to have some quilt kits available, and we'll talk about those next. There was one hiding in the box. Okay, so we have another tossed owl. As I told you at the beginning, there was another tossed owl. This one has that nice light duck egg blue background that has that painterly texture again of the layered painting with the owl. And again, more of that wood grain basic that we were looking at up top is in there. So it really is tied together really, really well. And this was so much fun to go through. So how it basically worked is I said, here are some things that I like, here are my ideas for it, and we talked about different types of owls and trellises for that background, and I was really specific about how I wanted it to be fussy cuttable without losing anything, and I gave them the color palette and then just my style, things that I liked, things around my home, things that inspire me. And then there came back and we had a lot of discussions about what that owl would look like. I'm not skilled enough to be able to draw an owl like this, but I can tell you what I like and don't like, and skinnier or fatter and all that stuff. And so we came up with this texture as the final look. And then it was a lot of fun because there were a lot of different options for colors. And so we were on like a live, and this was before, you know, you had to do everything on Zoom, but we were doing like a live meeting. We were both looking at the fabrics at the same time on a computer, and we were changing colors out and refining it. And I had like my printed versions of this, and I was going through and writing my notes about what I liked and didn't like the night before I gave birth, like hours literally before I went in to go be induced. I was going through and, you know, giving very detailed notes because I didn't want that to be held up by me being in the hospital for a couple of days giving birth. So it was just, this is what life is like as an entrepreneur. You don't get the same time off as everybody else, but that's okay. That's what I signed up for, and I love it. So it was just so much fun to do this. I worked really closely with Tiffany J. Smith over at QT Fabrics, and she was just fantastic to work with. Her and I are like soul sisters when it comes to decor, and so we both had a good vision in mind that we were able to execute this together. All right, so I'm going to get these stacked up in color order, and then we're going to talk about some of the quilts that are going to go with this, and you can get a preview of that, and then you can pre-order online. We are having pre-orders open through about October, and I've got to check on the exact date of that. The information will be on the product link, but you can pre-order before then. Since this is our first line, we just have zero idea how much to order because we don't know how much you guys are going to want, because we don't have any data on, you know, what's sold previously. So please pre-order, and that will order above and beyond that, but not too much above and beyond that. And so just make sure that if you really love something and you want to do it, get that pre-order in, and then we will have it shipped out to you as soon as it comes to us in January, and then we can make all these quilts together. Here it is. It is the whole line Nocturne. It's just so pretty. I'm so excited, and let's talk about some kits. So this quilt is called Stars in the Night. It was designed specifically for this quilt line. It's going to use those owls to really fussy cut and really show them off. And then the rest of it is just half square triangles. And so we're really going to break it down, make it easy, allow you to use every single fabric in the line and use up all of it. And then we also are going to have some fun with those borders, where we're going to use some of those sort of trellisy mod prints to really show off and have some fun with those. And we'll have some videos on fussy cutting, so that way you can know how to do all this, and it'll be super, super fun. And if you notice, I have used that green, the chartreuse, as the border, the skinny one, and it really pops. It really looks fantastic, and I'm so excited about this quilt. So we're remaking Garden Plot. This is one of our best sellers. People really have loved it. And the pattern is now going to be available in our upcoming book. And we'll have more details on that as time comes on. But it is super fun to do. It's super easy. Again, you are going to have to fussy cut a little bit, but it's not going to be that challenging. And it's also fat quarter friendly. So it is a really good way to show off those big fun prints, but also you'll have a place for the eye to rest as your eye is moving around the quilt and looking at some of the more subtle prints as well. So those owls will pop where we want them to. So we've also made up our split 9 patch pattern from our free beginner quilting video tutorial series that was sponsored by QT Fabrics, which also is making this fabric. And we have it in a black and a teal colorway, and both of them use different backgrounds. So you can definitely mix and match, have some fun with this, but it really makes good use of the colorways, so that way if you are not a teal person but you like it and you like that more gray neutrally look, you can go with that. Or you can have some more of the teal and the chartreuse, and really, I just love that colorway. Like this is where I live. Like these colors right here, this is my whole house. Like it just, you can see, I love my teal and my gray, and it's just fantastic. So I love it. So trellis is one of my favorite patterns. We did it as a Stash with Stephanie pattern about maybe a year and a half ago. And we used a scrappy background. And in this one, we're using one background. And so that way we can really just make everything pop and make all of these fabrics pop. And it uses every single fabric in the quilt. But because we're using that singular background, it really makes them just pop out. And again, we're going to be able to fussy cut those owls to have them be framed up and just look really, really pretty. And I think it makes it just look super modern, and it mimics the trellis that you are seeing in the actual design of the owl as well. We also are going to have some kits for bags. I really think that this fabric lends itself really well to that, especially that wood grain layered painting texture for bag bottom. It kind of looks like cork. And then those owls are perfect for fussy cutting and getting them in the center of your bag. So we've got a couple colorways of the tourist tote available. There's a teal and a black version for that, and they both look fantastic. So, but I encourage you to have some fun with this when you get your hands on it. Any of those modern trellisy ones like this, that it would make great bag handles. Again, you're gonna have to fussy cut, but we're gonna go over that in a couple of videos coming up, so that way when you get your fabric, you will know what you were doing and you can create something super, super fun. Thanks so much for following along, and if you want to get some of these, again, please pre-order. We have zero idea how much to order of fabric because we have not done this before. This is my very first line, Nocturne with QT Fabrics, and it's a curated collection with them. And it was just super fun to put together, but I have no idea how much you guys are gonna want. So that we order the correct amount, to make sure that everybody gets what they want, please pre-order. We have links to all of the quilt kits that we shared here in the video. We also have a link to a fat quarter bundle, and that is all going to be available for pre-order on our website. You have to order by a date in October that I don't remember right now, but it'll be on the product description. And then it will deliver sometime in January when the fabric arrives here in the US. So thanks so much for all your support. I'm so excited to have my own fabric collection. Like, this is a dream that I did not even think was going to ever be possible, and it exists. I have my own fabric stacked up right here, and a lot of it. So now I'm going to go cut this up and kit it for my lovely employees. Are going to start making sample quilts, and I'm just so excited. So excited. It happened. I have fabric. I'm petting my own fabric. That's fantastic. So excited. And you guys all helped make that happen. So thank you so much for your support and your love over the years. I hope you guys love this fabric as much as I do. I cannot wait to have this in my living room. I hope you guys can't wait to have it in your living room. So thanks so much and happy quilting.